Hello. I'm here to talk to you about things, that we just all generally hate. So let's start off. Don't you just hate realizing that, I'm sure I'll see you around really means I'll make no effort to meet you, but perhaps we'll run into each other by accident in the future. Next one. Don't you just hate people exercising in the gym who look at you through the window, making you feel flabby and worthless? Don't you hate Lincoln Lobs that fool children into believing that it's easy to build log cabins? Don't you hate when your car has one of those pathetically high-pitched horns that implies, "It's okay, you can stop all over me"? Don't you hate when a stranger continues sniffling every 5 seconds but isn't below his nose, even after offering them a tissue? They're perfectly alright, when really, they're not. Don't you hate reading a sign 3 hours into a hike that says, "In the unlikely event that a black bear attacks, use everything available, including your bare hands to fight back. Do not play dead"? Don't you hate public restroom sinks with separate faucets for hot and cold water, forcing you to choose between ice cold and scalding hot? Don't you hate realizing after several attempts that you've been trying to insert a 3-prong plug into a 2-prong outlet? Don't you hate sensing that your opponent is more interested in physically harming you than winning? Don't you just hate that the greatest expression of love most people receive is at their own funeral? Don't you hate overhearing Dad entertaining party guests with a story of how he caught you masturbating? Don't you hate when you want to make a right on red but can't because there's a car in front of you, which makes the right-hand turn when the light turns green? Don't you hate when your kid wears a glove throughout a ball game and sits in the most remote part of the upper deck where it is just physically impossible for a foul ball to reach you? Don't you hate being unable to twist a jar open and being very unwilling to let someone else give it a try? Don't you hate people who hold a door open for you when you're like 20 feet away, causing you to walk faster or even run? Annoying. Don't you hate that most people who take karate lessons won't admit they're doing it so they can kick the crap out of someone? Don't you hate when people keep channel surfing past the one thing that, actually interests you? I do hate this. Happens all the time. Don't you hate the near possibility of leaving a buffet without feeling bloated? Don't you hate when you break up with someone and their reaction makes you wonder, why didn't I do this sooner? Don't you hate when you first learn that there is no Santa Claus and then you finally realize this is only one of the many lies you've been told? Don't you hate when your 3-year-old mimics everything your 5-year-old is doing, and currently your 5-year-old is stabbing your stereo speaker with a fork? Don't you hate trying to avoid eye contact with the guy at the urinal next to you as he tries to do the same? Awkward. Don't you hate the 6-foot tall woman who wears high heels to ensure that people of normal height feel inadequate? Don't you hate people who encourage their dog to hump humans? Don't you hate wondering as your body dives into the frigid pool while your friends swore, "The water feels wonderful," when really it does not? Don't you hate a passenger safety pamphlet in the airplane depicting a smiling woman strapping a floating vest around her little girl's neck as they plummet into the ocean? Don't you hate when you can't remember the initial topic of a conversation, which was far more engaging than this one that you're stuck on right now? Don't you hate the difference between the picture and the travel brochure and your actual vacation? Oh my gosh, I hate that. I get a pamphlet. I'll be like, "This is so awesome. I want to go here." I finally get there. I'm like, I want to go here. What's this? And it freaking looks like a waste dump or something. Do you hate after waiting 28 minutes to see a doctor, your nurse brings you to a room where you wait another 28 minutes? Also annoying. Don't you hate the level of humiliation Monkey in the Middle can cause? This is why I don't play that game anymore. Embarrassing. Don't you hate the cruel life lessons that sports impact on kids? Think about it. Don't you hate when your caller ID reads private or out of area, causing you to weigh the risk on answering the unwanted versus the frustration of not knowing who wanted to talk to you? operator or telemarketer, uncle that wants to give me $100 for my birthday that I haven't talked to in about a year. I don't know who it is. Don't you hate when seeing a homeless man sleeping on the park bench stirs less compassion in you than watching an old dog limp along? Shame, shame, shame. I know. Don't you hate refusing to watch Jeopardy because it makes you feel dumb? I do. I will actually admit this, I do. And last but not least, don't you hate realizing how many of these actually apply to your life? That's kind of sad. You must hold a really lonely, sad, depressing life. You know what the sad truth about that is? We all do. Bye.